Yeah.
Window down, smoke rising slow. You can hear every mile I've been through when I open my mouth. Gravel in my voice, asphalt in my lungs. Every word I let it out tastes like miles on my tongue. Purple sunset on the dash, whole sky dripping blue. City glowing way below me like it's missing what I knew. Hoodie up, cab low, wrist heavy with the time. Lo-fi drums under my chest like a tired little chime. I've been talking for the broken since I barely had a bed. Now my tongue got all these scratches from the truth I never said. Tattoo ink around the knuckles, veins low neon in the dark. Every scar a little secret that I folded in the heart. Folks say, man, you sound so calm. They don't hear the gasoline, they don't see the nights I coughed up every promise in between. So I let the cadence drag, let the consonants be rough, let the notes crack at the edges when the memories get tough. I ain't trying to sound angelic, I'm just trying to sound alive. Like a rusty V8 motor, there's still some I wanna drive. Gravel in my voice, midnight on my breath, 420 in the system, trying to sing above the stress. Blues guitar crying, bass line slow and moist. If you hear me rasping through it, that's the gravel in my voice. I ain't polished, I ain't pretty, but I'm honest in this noise. Every word a busted speaker spilling gravel in my voice. I remember smoky stairwells, freestyling just to cope, rapping in the busted phones like I'm rapping in the hope. Didn't know that all the whispers in apartments full of mold would turn into this roughness that they pay to hear and go. They be asking what you do to get that texture when you sing. Like I bought it in a plug and some distortion on the string. They don't see me in the kitchen talking low to keep from crying. They don't see me on the highway trying to breathe instead of lying. Every I'm okay I swallow, left some damage in my throat. Every half truth that I mumble put a crack inside my note. Now the timber sound like gravel when I slide up on a bar, but it fits this purple skyline and the slow burning cigar. So I lean into the danger, let it rasp, let it scrape. Let my vowels drag like tires, leaving marks that can't erase. If the pitch go out of focus on a word that hit too raw, let it hang there in the smoke like a witness to the flaw. Gravel in my voice, midnight on my breath, 420 in the system, trying to sing above the stress. Blues guitar crying, bass line slow and moist. If you hear me rasping through it, that's the gravel in my voice. I ain't polished, I ain't pretty, but I'm honest in this noise. Every word a busted speaker spilling gravel in my voice. Maybe I was never meant to sound like angels in a choir. Maybe I was built to sound like worn out rubber under fire. Like a match that's barely holding but still throwing off some heat. Like a sinner saying save me over halftime dusty beat. If my tone be cracking open when I mention how I hurt, that's just proof there's something real there underneath the smoking dirt. So I won't auto-tune the tremble, I won't clean up every scar. I'll just ride this horse confession like a midnight stolen car. Now the city look like jewelry spilling down the mountainside, and my raps cut through the reverb like a wheel cut through the slide. Every note I let stay broken feel like breath I never had, like I'm coughing up the poison from a decade playing glad. If you vibing with this texture, that's cause you've been through it too. You got gravel in your own throat from the nights you made it through. You got verses in your chest that only come out when you're fried. When the weed make room for honesty, you never let outside. So I'm pouring out this chorus for the drivers riding alone, for the ones with tired vocals that still sound like carved up stone. Let your hoarseness be a weapon, let your crackle be your choice. Let the world know where you've been with all that gravel in your voice. Gravel in my voice, midnight on my breath, 420 in the system, trying to sing above the stress. Blues guitar crying, bass line slow and moist. If you hear me rasping through it, that's the gravel in my voice. I ain't polished, I ain't pretty, but I'm honest in this noise. Every word I bust the speaker spilling gravel in my voice. Fade the beat, keep the raps, let the engine whisper low. If they ask me why I sound like I've been dragging through the snow, I'll just grin around the smoke and let the silence make the choice. Some stories only make sense with a little gravel in my voice. Fade the beat, keep the raps, let the engine whisper low. Ask me why I sound like I've been dragging through the snow. Yeah, I'll just grin around the smoke and let the silence make the choice. Some stories only make sense with a little gravel.
windows purple, time below, and me mumble you were true. Yeah. Smoke rough lullaby, pouring out a top throat. Every line a little secret that I never wrote in notes. Got that sandpaper delivery over velvet 808. Like I gargled all my heartache just to get this feeling straight. Mountains cut the neon skyline while the city's falling small. Tattoo hands on Lamborghini, but my soul still at the mall. Same key to stealing instrumentals off a borrowed crack phone. Now I'm riding through this artwork with a voice that sound grown. I don't sing like Sunday gospel, I don't flow like radio. I sound like I spent my 20s saying yes when I should know. Like I spent 1,000 midnights breathing secondhand regret. Turn my larynx to a diary full of things I can't forget. Every yo, I'm good, I forced outward some edges off the tone. Now I croon like rusty hinges on the door that's rarely closed. And the fist is purple cabin if it's 420 in my chest. Just a smoke rough lullaby for every brain that won't rest. Smoke rough lullaby, drifting in the ride. 420 little fractures in this horse low tide. Blues keys weeping, bass barely high. I don't have to sound perfect for this pain to qualify. If tomorrow you remember just a scratch and not the round, that's alright. It's smoke rough lullaby did its job. And I remember open mics where they said tone too raw. Told me clean it up, go smoother, hide the hurt inside your jaw. But the people in the back with red eyes and heavy hearts came to tell me after sets that my mistakes were their favorite part. Said the way your voice be cracking when you mention being tired make me feel like I ain't crazy for the times I damn near fired. Said big growl up in your falsetto, sound like midnight in my chest. So I stopped trying to be sterile, let the gravel do the rest. Now I write for every driver who be whispering alone, too embarrassed by the tone to ever claim they got a song. This for all the crooked singers with the smoke on every breath. For the ones who sound like they've been arguing with life and death. Let it wobble, let it drag, let it break on certain words. Let that raps turn simple phrases into whether you have heard. Like I'm tired with a crackle, I forgive you with a grit. Like I love you but I'm leaving in a voice that barely fits. Smoke rough lullaby, drifting in the ride. 420 little fractures in this horse low tide. Blues keys weaving, bass barely high. I don't have to sound perfect for this pain to qualify. If tomorrow you remember just a scratch and not the rhyme, that's alright. This smoke rough lullaby did its job. Maybe pretty notes are cool, but broken ones can heal. Maybe what you need at 3 a.m. is someone who sounds real. Someone wheezing through confessions, someone laughing through a cough, someone humming half off key, but still refusing to turn off. So I mumble sing these verses like I just rolled one too deep. Let the words rock you in circles while the city fall asleep. This ain't radio perfection, it's that ashtray lullaby, where the tone got all its edges from the nights you didn't die. Sky go from pink to indigo, town glittering like a chain, and my chords feel like they dragging 2 whole decades of my brain. But there's comfort in the roughness, there's a pillow in the raft. Like a homie with a hoodie giving you that pull you close grasp. If you riding with your demons and my chorus hit your chest, let the gravel in my register remind you you're still blessed. Cause a worn out smoky vocal means you've been here long enough to collect a couple lifetimes in a single scratchy prof. When the outro scenes start fading and the stand falls out of frame, I still hum from that last. It's okay, even if it ain't the same. Let the final note come broken, let it crumble inside. That's the whole point of this song. A smoke rough lullaby. Smoke rough lullaby. Smoke rough lullaby. Smoke rough lullaby. Drifting in the ride. 420 little fracture in this horse. No tide, blues keys weeping, banks barely high. I don't have to sound perfect for this pain to quiet. If you're riding with your demons, smoke rough lullaby. 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 Smoke rough, smoke rough, smoke rough lullaby. Smoke rough, smoke rough lullaby. 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 Smoke rough. Smoke rough. Yeah. Purple sky on the dial. Throat a little torn up. Rough edge crew, sand in my tongue. Every bar sound like I drag it down a gravel road alone. Purple clouds melt on the windshield, city glowing like a bruise. Loaf I bass up in my chest while I ash away the news. Got that whiskey aiming morning type of crack inside my speech. Like I argue with my demons till we both run out of reach. Every I'm alright on trip, took a layer off my chords. Now my vocal cords be rasping every time I spill these words. Tattoo ink around the fingers on the wheel to see some rain. Every vein a little highway for the slope and kind of pain. I ain't tryna hide the damage, I just let it color sound. Let the horses tell the story how I almost left the ground. Rough edge cruise, riding through my scars. 420 in my lungs, midnight in these bars. Blues guitar crying, kick drum loose. If my voice come out all broken, that's my rough edge cruise. I ain't butter smooth, I ain't radio clean. I'm that late night, smoked out, gravel throw the scene. I remember singing softer, trying to hit it nice and pure. Till the world put all its mileage on a chest that wasn't sure. Till the heartbreaks and the late shifts and the cigarettes and cold turn my range into a hallway with these echo scratchy walls. Now they tell me, yo, that raspy different over beats, like they hear the long commute between my bedroom and these streets. Hear the nights I drove in circles just to talk myself to sleep. Hear the cough between the takes where I hit things way too deep. So I let it drag the vowels, let it fray around the hooks. Let my verses sound like pages ripped from burn up where the books. When I whisper about my fears, it's half a growl, half a plea. But it's it just right and smoking purple dashboards over me. Rough edge cruise, riding through my scars, 420 in my lungs, midnight in these bars, blues guitar crying, kick drum loose. If my voice come out all broken, that's my rough edge cruise. I ain't butter smooth, I ain't radio clean, I'm that late night, smoke out, grab it, throw the scent. Maybe God ain't in the flawless, maybe grace ain't in the gloss. Maybe heaven love the verses where your throat still count the cost. Where the note don't land on pitch, but it still land in the soul. Where the rats say I've been wounded and the echo say me too, bro. So I won't sand down these corners just to fit a cleaner lane. I'ma let the rust stay rough and let it ride beside the pain. If my timber sound like broken glass on top of slow jam blues, that's just proof that I've been living what I'm singing when I cruise. By the time I hit the overlook and kill the hopping glare, I can hear my own voice linger in the low and dusty air. Still a tremble in the phrases, still a call between the rhymes. But I feel it's like a problem, more like proof of all the times. If you bump it's in a Lambo or a beat up Civic ride, if your throat got that same texture from the nights you almost died, let it crack along with mine, let it strain and let it chew. We ain't broken, we just honest on this rough edge cruise. Rough edge cruise, riding through my scars, 420 in my lungs, midnight in these bars, blues guitar crying, kick drum loose. If my voice come out all broken, that's my rough edge cruise. I ain't butter smooth, I ain't radio clean, I'm that late night, smoke out, grab or throw the scene, engine hum low, sky drip violet on the roof. Every rasp I drop tonight, feel a little more like proof. If they ask me why the vocals sound like they've been pulled through use, I'll just say that's what you get on a rough edge cruise. I read, but the beat still say one more take. Horse at 4:20 AM, jaw heavy with the day. Every syllable is struggle, but I'm speaking anyway. Purple dawn behind the mountain, city flicker going out. Lo-fi snares under my breathing, baseline carrying my doubt. I've been talking like a hotline since the sun first hit the blinds, answering everybody's crisis, losing track of my own lines. Now my vocal cords are sandpaper, rubbing on this flow, but it matched the way I'm feeling, better than they'll ever know. You can hear last week's confession sitting rough on every note. All the secrets that ain't mine wrapped around the way I throw. Every bro, don't tell nobody that I kept inside my chest. Turn my tone into this gravel where the melodies can rest. Horse at 4:20 AM, still riding slow, still riding slow. 420 in my lungs, hurting my low, hurting my low. Blues keys flow, drums heavy sleep. If my voice sound torn, that's just proof the cut was deep. I ain't tryna hide the damage in a perfect auto blend. This is Horse at 4:20 AM. Let it crack, don't let it in. Studio lights off, only dash glow on my skin. Got the mic up in the visor while I track another scent. Beat feel like a late night drive, I ain't filming yet. With the hooks he belted in and my regrets in silhouette. I remember early days trying to keep the timber clean, drinking tea and hitting scales like I'm polished for the scene. Then the life I really lived came and rearranged my throat. Now I sound like Ash and Thunder, even reading normal quotes. But this rap sit perfect over slow guitars and weed, like a sermon from a sinner who's still trying to believe. Like a voicemail to myself saying you made it through again. Sent at 4:20 a.m. from the driver to the friend. So I lean into the crackle, let it graze the top of pitch. Let the vowels drag through gravel, let the consonants all hitch. If a line break in the middle, cause my voice just had enough. That's a moment of the truth, not a flaw, I need a buff, yeah. Horse at 4:20 a.m. Still riding slow. 420 in my lungs, hurt in my low. Blues keys flowing, drums half asleep. If my voice sound torn, that's just proof the cut was deep. I ain't tryna hide the damage in a perfect auto blend. This is Horse at 4:20 a.m. Let it crack, don't let it. Maybe some songs only work when you ain't got any shine. When your range is down to whispers and your throat is on the line. When the only note you hitting is I made it one more night. When the harmony is tires on a road with purple light. So I bless this broken register that barely holds a key, cause it carried all these verses when nobody carried me. If the mix engineer was hearing clips in overdrive, tell him leave a little roughness, that's the reason it survived. Sky about to flip the orange, I can see it in the glass. City stretching out of sleep while the session about to pass. I'll go home with scratchy vocals, barely talking through the day. But tonight I call my spirit in this rough and smoky way. If you play this while you driving with your own voice running thin, from a week of saying yes when you were breaking deep within. Let the croak inside my cadence be permission just to rest. Be a reason that you cancel one more thing upon your chest. When the final hook come round, sing it ugly, sing it raw. Let the hoarseness be the feature, not some glitch inside the draw. We ain't here to sound like angels, we just here to sound like truth. In a car that smell like 420 and a life that been uncool, yeah. Horse at 4:20 a.m. Still riding slow. 420 in my lungs, hurt in my low. Whoa, blues keys flowing, drums half asleep. If my voice sound torn, that's just proof the cut was deep. I ain't tryna hide the damage in a perfect auto blend. This is Horse at 4:20 a.m. Let it crack, don't let it. Fade the beat, leave the breath, let the last note almost break. City waking up behind me, but my soul just caught a break. If they ask me why this track sound like I barely got a stem, I say cause that's how it feels. Horse at 4:20 a.m. Sit low, brim down, throat scratching, be smooth. Yeah, raspy midnight lane, tires humming under breath. Every word I let escape sound like you wrestle with the stress. Purple clouds on top of buildings, city glowing like a bruise. Lo-fi ass tap slow in circles while I drag out every blues. Got that smoky stain baritone, gravel sitting on my tongue. Every syllable a scar from all the nights I died young. All the arguments with life, I stepped back down and called it cool. Now they echo when I whisper, turn my voice to busted tool. Hands inked up around the wheel, veins lit neon by the dash. Watch the ash fall in slow motion like a second hourglass. I ain't here to sound angelic, I'm just here to sound like truth. Like a grown man with the weather of his 20s in his roots, yeah. Raspy midnight lane, riding slow but sane. 420 in my chest, purple gas up in my brain. Blues guitar flow, bassline heavy grain. If my voice crack on the hook, that's just raspy midnight lane. I don't wanna be too pretty, I just wanna be this real. Let the roughness roughness in my throat matched the way my heart can feel. I remember trying to polish how I talk up on the track. Turn the grit down, turn the air up, make it shiny for a plaque. But the homies in the Honda rolling windows halfway low said it hit more when you tired, when you barely got a glow. Said that croak you got at 3 a.m. You say you bout to break. That's the part that get us quiet, that's the part we can't fake. So I quit chasing perfect timber, let the damage ride the beat. Let the nights I almost gave up sit and rumble in my speech. Now I sound like old cassettes left on dashboards in the sun. A little warp but still relatable to everybody run. That's the register I live in when I talk about my flaws. Half a growl, half a confession over late night traffic laws. Yeah. Raspy midnight lane, riding slow but sane. 420 in my chest, purple gas up in my brain. Blues guitar floating, bassline heavy grain. If my voice crack on the hook, that's just raspy midnight lane. I don't wanna be too pretty, I just wanna be this real. Let the roughness in my throat match the way my heart can feel. Baby, smooth is for the daytime, for the surface and the show. But at night we need a voice that sound like it survived some snow. Sound like it's rolled through some alleys, argue hard with cigarettes. It's like it prayed in dirty bathrooms, made it out with no regrets. So I'm riding for the drivers with that sand caught in their speech, who been told to clear their throats instead of saying this is me. Turn the volume a little higher, let the rats take up some space. Let them know a cracked your vocal still can turn a whole night lace. When they exit from my block appearing lavender and rain, I could feel the way my phrasing got more honest with the strain. Still a copper for the chorus, still a wobble on the note. But there's something holy hiding in this half-destroyed old throat. If you ride along and mumble with your own voice feeling rough, let this lane remind you yours can still be more than good enough. We ain't broken, we just seasoned by the roads we had to take. Raspy midnight lane forever till the sunrise hit the break. Raspy midnight lane, riding slow but sane. 420 in my chest, purple gas up in my brain. Blues guitar flow, bassline heavy grain. If my voice crack on the hook, that's just raspy midnight lane. I don't wanna be too pretty, I just wanna be this real. Let the roughness in my throat match the way my heart can feel. Yeah. Engine off, sky dim, lungs full of night again. But my tones still carry tire marks, yeah, from everywhere I've been. If they ask me why, it sound like I've been dragged through every rain. Yeah, I'll just chuckle through the gravel, say raspy midnight lane.
Once had spoken, had sung, off my worn out chest.
Husky night drive, curve floating low above the dash. Every note a little caught between the memories that clash. Purple sky like stained glass, holding back a brighter day. City lights like scattered candles for the world I couldn't save. Got that tile line register, every growl beneath my laugh. Every chorus that I mumble sound like sand stuck in the past. Like I gargle with my worries, wash them down with smoky gin. outside talking to the moon about the shape I'm really in. Hands tattooed, eyes gleam, still I'm feeling underpaid. Not in money, but in moments where my soul felt unafraid. So I sing this little mantra with a throat that's far from clear. Lowering horse inside this cockpit where no one but me can hear. Husky night drive prayer over blue soap drums. 420 on my tongue, sorrow on my gums. Keys in minor, bass like there. If my voice sound rough, that's just husky night drive prayer. I'm not angel, I'm not choir, I'm a cracked up, tired flare. Trying to talk to God and gravel with this husky night draw. I remember smoking backstairs, whisper freestyles to the wall. Didn't wanna wake the neighbors, didn't wanna risk a call. So my tongue got used to living in that half voice, half aside. Now it's husky every time I let the real me slip outside. People tell me, bro, that rash fit perfect with them rolls. Say it sound like late night wisdom on deserted rainy roads. Say it make them feel okay that they ain't polished in they pain, that they own voice also wobble when they sing in 2 a.m. rain. So I press into the friction, let it scratch against the beat. Let each syllable sound like rubber, kiss and wet concrete if the pitch break. When I mention all the nights I almost quit, let it break. That's just the truth, adding texture to the grid. Husky night drive prayer over blue soap drums. 420 on my tongue, sorrow on my gums. Keys in minor, bass like air. If my voice sound rough, that's just husky night drive prayer. I'm not angel, I'm not choir, I'm a cracked up, tired flare. Trying to talk to God and gravel with this husky night. Maybe heaven hear the ones who can't get notes all the way clean. Maybe mercy love the voices stained with nicotine and dreams. Maybe blessing hit much harder when it's whispered from the seat of a car that's seen too many midnight miles and restless feet. So I don't clear my throat before I say what's on my mind. Let the weed sit in the sentence, let the rap stay unrefined. Keep me safe, keep me honest, keep my people in the light. And if you gotta break me open, do it gentle, do it right. By the time I near my exit, dawn is threatening at the rim. But this horse low incantation keep on circling like a hymn. I ain't different, mate, I don't heal, but I'm softer in the bones from confessing in a register that match my weather tones. If you ride a lonely highway with a throat that's feeling raw, sing along on every hook, even if you break the law. What we're predisposed to sound like, let the great hang in the air. That's your own small smoky sound. Yo, husky night drive, husky night drive prayer over blue soap drums. 420 on my tongue, sorrow on my gums. Keys in minor, bass like air. If my voice sound rough, that's just husky night drive prayer. Pulling slow, cut the lights, let the engine gently cool. Still humming that low refrain like a kid hums after school. If they'd ask me where I worship when my head too loud to bear, I say alone under a purple sky with a husky night drive prayer. With a husky night drive prayer. Pull a husky night drive prayer. slow, pulling 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 slow, cut the light. Pulling slow, pulling slow, pulling slow, pulling slow, cut the lights. Pulling slow, cut the lights. Oh, husky night. Just once hair spoken.
Purple skyline, throat on fumes. Still gonna talk to the night. Raspy skyline spell words dragging through my teeth. Every line a little ghost that I've been hiding underneath. City looking like a circuit, every window tiny flame. Lo-fi drums up in the speakers while I mumble out my shame. Got that smoke out gravel texture sitting heavy on my tongue, like I gargled all my heartbreak since I first was growing young. Every now I'm straight, don't worry that I forced into my breath. Left a scratch across my register, now it's rough with every step. Hands ink, watch gleam, hood up, brim low. Engine hum slow while the purple clouds glow. I don't wanna sound perfected, I just wanna sound like me. Half your sung, half spoken over 808 in memory. Raspy skyline spell, casting on this ride. 420 in my lung, bruises I don't hide. Blues guitar floating, bass warm and swell. If my voice come out all broken, that's the raspy skyline spell. I ain't choosing to be flawless, I'm just choosing to be felt. Let the gravel wrap the lyric in this raspy skyline spell. I remember open windows in apartments, thin the skin. Wish we rapping in the pillow so the neighbors can't tune in. Back when every bar I scribbled felt like risking every friend. Back when raising up my volume felt like bringing out the end. Now I'm riding through this artwork like the cover of a mix. Whole horizon painted violet, whole interior full of flicks. And the croak inside my cadence sound like tires over seams. Sound like floorboard beakers, secrets sound like last night's happy dream. They be saying, yo, that raspy different with these chords, cause it carry all the weight I never put into my words. Like a confession in the texture, even when the bar is light. Like a truth they hear in timbre, even more than what I write. Raspy skyline spell, casting on this ride. 420 in my lung, bruises I don't hide. Blues guitar floating, bass warm and swell. If my voice come out all broken, that's the raspy skyline spell. I ain't choosing to be flawless, I'm just choosing to be felt. Let the gravel wrap the lyric in this raspy skyline spell. Maybe magic isn't crystal, maybe it's a ruined throat. Still showing up on tempo with a half-shredded old note. Maybe prayers ain't always pretty, maybe hymns can cough and shake. Maybe heaven hears the verses that your vocal cords might break. So I keep it low and dusty, let the air out on the crack. Let the vowels come out smoky like they barely made it back. If the pitch light out of focus when I talk about my hell, that's just part of how I'm throwing this raspy skyline. By the time I hit the overlook town, there's glitter on the floor, and my chest feel like it empty, just enough to ask for more. Still some gravel in my sentence, still some sand along my pitch, but I'm grateful for the roughness that done turned the pain to stitch. If you listen while you driving with your own voice running thin, let this chorus be permission, just the sound of where you been. Let it crack, let it wobble, let it slide outside the scale. We ain't here to win auditions, we just here to tell the tale. Raspy skyline spell, casting on this ride. 420 in my lungs, bruises I don't hide, blues guitar floating, bass warm and swelling. If my voice come out all broken, that's the raspy skyline spell. I ain't choosing to be flawless, I'm just choosing to be felt. Let the gravel wrap the lyric in this raspy skyline spell. Yeah, hey. Fade the beat, keep the breath, let the last note almost fail. Purple sky sink down to black while the smoke dry out the trail. If they ask why I sound weathered when the chorus starts to swell, I'll just shrug around this blunt and say, that's my skyline spell. That's enough to make a song. Gravel throw, cruise control, riding 30 on the fast. Everybody flying by me while I let this tension pass. Purple smear along the guardrail, mountains cutting through the haze. Lo-fi rim shots tick like heartbeat, trying to find a steady phrase. I got echoes in my larynx from a decade saying sure. From the nights I sang on empty just to make the painful cure. Now my timbers sound like tires on a road that's seen some wars. Every chorus that I mumble carry dust from all those chores. Hands tattooed tied to the leather, watch face glowing in the dark. Dashboard little violet halo round and slow burn metal arc. I ain't really in a hurry, I'm just glad talking my truth. Half a growl, half meditation for the version of my youth. Gravel throat, cruise control, let the highway slide. 420 in my chest, rough edges in my tie. Blues keys hover, bass on the roll. If my voice sound worn, that's just gravel throat, cruise control. I don't need to hit it perfect, I just need to hit your soul. Let the cracks between the nose be my gravel throat, cruise control. Gravel throat, cruise control. Ooh. I remember foreign stages, cheap mics, bad lines, trying to reach the back row with a throat that ain't mine. Pushing way past healthy just to prove I could ignite. Woke up barely talking, still said run it back tonight. All that pushing left a texture that ain't never going clean, but it matched these late night visuals like a movie smoky scene. Matched the slow pan of the camera, past the wheel, past the ink. Matched the way my fears sound quiet when I'm too far in the thing. People hit me in the DM saying bro your tone is shy, but in person they confess it sound like everything they fought. Say you feel like someone speaking from a chest that knows the cause. From a man that scraped his cord just trying not to end the blow. Cruise control, let the highway slide. 420 in my chest, rough edges in my tie. Blues keys hover, bass on a roll. If my voice sound worn, that's just gravel throat, cruise control. I don't need to hit it perfect, I just need to hit your soul. Let the cracks between the nose be my gravel throat, cruise control. Gravel throat, cruise control. Maybe
smooth lanes for the daytime, for the radio and malls. But these midnight purple freeways love a voice that almost falls. Love a chorus hanging crooked, love a verse that barely lands. Love a hook that sound like someone holding on with smoky hands. So I doubt a cruise up gentle, let the tempo stay at peace. Let my timber ride the kick like it's begging for release. If the note fell halfway through it, I won't punch it till it's straight. I'll just double the imperfection, let it echo on my way. By the time the town appeared, little necklace made of light. I done talked myself in circles through this cracked up lullaby night. Still can feel the strain inside me, still some gravel on the tongue. But my soul feel less like hostage, more like passenger that's young. If you bump this while you coasting in your own late model ride, with a throat that's sounding weathered from the times you had to hide. Let this rest be one more reason not to fix what life designed. Gravel throat, cruise control, leave the roughness, keep in mind. Cruise control, let the highway slide. 420 in my chest, rough edges in my tie. Blues keys hover, bass on the road. If my voice sound worn, that's just gravel throat, cruise control. I don't need to hit it perfect, I just need to hit your soul. Let the cracks between the notes be my gravel throat, cruise control. My gravel throat, cruise control. Ooh. Get a park key out slow. Sky leaning violet the cold. But the rap still humming quiet like a motor in my soul. If they ask how I keep driving when I'm hurting, not quite whole, I'll say on the low set pedal. And a gravel throw, cruise control.
Purple scout day, rough tone mix. Purple dashboard growl, riding low behind my teeth. Every bar come out like smoke that had to claw from beneath. City sitting like a circuit, every light a tiny scent. Lo-fi snares tap slow reminders of the state I'm really in. Got that morning after texture and a voice that never slept. Audio, I'm good, I forced, I left my vocal cords inept. Every time I bit my feelings just to keep the vibe intact. Put a fracture in my timber, now it's gravel when I act. Tatted hands around the wheel, wrist heavy with the time. Ash dancing in the console while I half sing every line. I ain't trying to sound like angels over 808 and roads. I'm just trying to sound like someone that survived a couple
Double dashboard growl, rumbling through the song. 420 in my lungs, cruise it right along. Blues get the tall swimming, bass not like a prow. If it raps when I confess it, that's my purple dashboard growl. I ain't here to be so pretty, I'm just here to make it real. Let the ruffle on my throat, say the things I never will. Yeah.
I remember cheap apartments spitting verses in the dark. Neighbors banging on the ceiling every time I caught a spark. So I learned to half tone, whisper, keep it low and let it drag. Now my register stay husky, even sober, even swag. People say it sound like vinyl when you hit them lazy notes. Like a sample off a record full of heartbreak, full of quotes. Said it matches purple visuals and late night mountain views. Match a Lambo on the back row with a cloud of slur and blue. So I let the consonants crumble, let the vowels come I want. Let my yes sound like it's limping, let my notes I'm badly torn. If my baby I'm not okay, don't come out smooth and key. That's just truth inside the gravel taking over next beat.
Dashboard growl, rumbling through the song. 420 in my lungs, bruises riding long. Blues guitar swimming, bass not like a prow. If it raps when I confess it, that's my purple dashboard growl. I ain't here to be so pretty, I'm just here to make it real. Let the ruffle on my throat,
Maybe some notes notes need distortion just to sound like what they mean. Like that crack you hear when someone say I'm tired and actually lean. Like that break inside, I'm sorry that no tuner should erase. Cause the damage in the timber put the feeling in its place. So I won't smooth out all the danger just to fit a cleaner lane. I'ma ride with all this gravel like it's built into the frame. If the take out little glitches where my heart, I run my tone. Leave them in, that's just the footage of me trying not to bone. By the time the town's is tiny and the mirror's purple tint, I done used up half my air on every half confessed lament. Still the growl sit in my chest like a motor humming slow. Still the hoarseness in my phrases tell the story before I flow. If you bump this while you're driving through your own neon and smoke, let your throat be what it is, don't turn it down cause someone spoke. Let it rasp, let it shiver, let it rumble when you howl. That's your soul up on the dashboard with a matching purple dial.
Dashboard cloud, rumbling through the song, 420 in my lungs. Bruises riding long, guitar swimming, bass not like a crowd. If it rides when I confess it, that's my purple dashboard crowd. I ain't here to be real pretty, I'm just here to make it real. Let the ruffle on my throat, ooh, say the things I never will. Cause the engine sky's still bleeding violet down the hill. But that low one tone inside me keep on vibrating still. If they ask me why my vocals sound like roads instead of valves, I'll just point up at the windshield, say purple dashboard cloud.
Yeah. Hands on 10 and 2. Voice half prayer, half rap. Yeah. Yeah.
Smoke out steering wheels, I'm in a husky halftime flow. Every bar feel like confession that I only let you know. Purple rains beyond the windows, town glow like ember cold. Lo-fi keys drip slow and dusty while I talk to my own soul. Got that late shift, last blunt roughness sitting heavy in my throat. Like I turned 1,000 breakdowns into texture on this note. Every hold it in I listen to instead of letting cry. Put another little crackle in this low down lullaby. Tattoos peeking from the hoodie, watch blink violet on my wrist. Hands tied around the steering like a pulpit in the mist. I ain't preaching to the masses, just to me in driver's seat. Half rapping, half crooning over 808 and bittersweet. Smoke out steering wheel sermon, gravel in the M420 in the air. Lights on the brim, blues chords ring, bass warm and firm. If my voice sound torn, that's the smoked out steering wheel sermon. I'm not holy, I'm not clean, I'm just honest when I turn. Let the hoarseness be the gospel in this smoked out steering wheel sermon. I remember trying to fake it like I always had control, even when my hands were shaking on the same exact console. Playing therapist and driver, friend and priest and late night ride, till my chords were worn to paper from the year I let it slide. Now the rasp inside my vowels sound like roads beneath the car. Every and every year like tires passing over tar. And it fits these nighttime visuals better than a flawless tone. Cause nobody out here perfect when they driving high and low. So I raise my little sermon, not with fire but with smoke. Let the chorus come out jagged, let the cadence come out broke. If the hook don't hit like radio but stick inside your chest, that's cause gravel carries secrets that a clean note can't suggest. Yeah. Smoke out steering wheel sermon, gravel in the M420 in the air. Lights on the brim, blues chords ringing, bass warm and firm. If my voice sound torn, that's a smoked out steering wheel sermon. I'm not holy, I'm not clean, I'm just honest when I turn. Let the hoarseness be the gospel gospel in the smoked out steering wheel sermon. Maybe church is just a car with all the windows rolling slow, where the choir is your playlist and the preacher is your flow, where the altar is the dash and all the stained glass is the sky, and the only thing required is you dare to not deny. So I talk in rough cut phrases like I'm speaking straight to God. Keep me soft inside this hardness, keep me real beneath the facade. Keep my people in your rear view, keep my pride out of the lead. And if you gotta break my voice, just let it sing what I still need. By the time I loop the exit back to where my nights begin, all that voice tones on my offer still be vibrating within. Still some scratch along the phrase and still some sand behind the rhyme, but I feel a little lighter from the smoky overtime. If you riding with your own thought, feeling rough from what you hold, let the sermon be permission, let your sound come out on control. We ain't saved by being flawless, we get saved by being clear, even if the words are ragged when they finally hit the ear. Smoky out steering wheel sermon, gravel in the hymn, 420 in the air, lights on the brim, blues chords ringing, bass warm and firm. If my voice sound torn, that's the smoked out steering wheel sermon. I'm not holy, I'm not clean, I'm just honest when I turn. Let the hoarseness be the gospel in a smoked out steering wheel sermon. Park in front the same old place, engine ticking soft and slow, but that rough spun little prayer keep on buzzing in my flow. If they ask me where I've been when life get louder than the burning, I'll say alone on Purple Highway, yeah, giving steering wheel sermons. Giving steering wheel sermons. Giving steering wheel sermons.
City low montagne alta, garganta no mesmo tom do céu. Rice be purple, rise the sun, stretching wide across the glass. Every drag I take a dish to scrape another layer past. Lo-fi drums in halftime, bassline sitting in my ribs. Whole car smell like late decisions, I ain't told about the kids. Tattoo hands on leather, watch glow violet on my skin. All these playlists full of smoke, feel like they playing where I've been. Purple skyline looking holy, but my throat sound far from clean. Sound like all my little breakdowns hit the filter in between. I've been holding down for people since before I had a plan. Every yo I got you took some grit out of this, man. Now my timber come out broken when I whisper what I hide. Half confession, half exhaust from all these nights I let slide. Raspy purple horizon, rolling slow and warm. 420 in my lungs, gravel in my form. Blues guitar crying, since barely rising. All this wear up in my voice, matches raspy purple horizon. If tomorrow I act shiny in the day they advertise, no at night I sound like this, under raspy purple sky. I remember stepping outside, breath turn fog against the chrome. Talking gentle on the phones that they ain't here, I'm far from home. Turn my pain into a punchline, let the rough sit in my laugh, like a scratchy little sample on a West Coast smoky track. But them playlists where I live now with the purple covers on, all be built for dudes like me who kept on singing when they're gone. Kept on driving through the 420 AM blues on quiet loops till the rasp became a feature, not a glitch and noisy soup. So I spill a couple secrets with this half-destroyed falsetto, let it flip into a growl when I mention what I let go. If my eye was not okay, man, don't sit perfect on the scale. That's just pain without a filter over deep bass slogan hell. Raspy purple horizon, rolling slow and warm. 420 in my lungs, gravel in my form. Blues guitar crying, since barely rising. All this wear up in my voice, matches raspy purple horizon. If tomorrow I act shiny in the day they advertise, no at night I sound like this, under raspy purple purple sky. Maybe heaven nessas mixtapes, nunca quis voz de cristal. Sempre quis garganta rouca, carregando emocional. Tipo vinil com chiado, deixando o blues mais verdade. Tipo pressa meio bêbado, mas sincera de verdade. So I let this vocal fry, ride the edges of the beat. Let the notes fray at the corners like old rubber on the street. If the harmony ain't perfect, when it'll follow, I'm afraid. That's the line between persona and the human that I play. By the time a town below vira só brilho lá no chão. Minha voz já tá cansada, mas mais perto da intenção. Ainda rouca, ainda falha, mas dizendo que eu fugi. Dando nome pra esses monstros que eu só trago quando aqui. Se você dirige ouvindo isso com a voz também gastada, canta junto desse jeito, mesmo torta, mesmo quebrada. Que essas faixas são refúgio pra quem quase foi demais. Raspy Purple Horizon, abraçando os desiguais. Raspy Purple Horizon, rolling slow and warm. For the 20 in my lungs, gravel in my form. Blues guitar crying, since barely rising. All this wear up in my voice matches raspy purple horizon. If tomorrow I act shiny in the day they advertise, no, at night I sound like this, under raspy purple sky. Engine down, luz da city, vira só barulho ao longe. Mas o tom queima na garganta igual bituca até onde. Se perguntarem por que a voz sou igual estrada em erosão, diz que eu morei muito tempo na raspy purple horizon. Na raspy purple horizon. Voice torn, sky purple, city on mute. Gravel hard highway, feel it in my chest. Every beat a little stone, rolling restless in my flesh. Purple mountains in the distance, city glowing like a ghost. Lo-fi drums in slow rotation, keeping pace with what I host. I've been giving out my daylight like I'm made of endless gas. Saying yeah, I'm good, don't worry, every time they wanna pass. Now my throat is sounding weathered like it's been through 7 lives. Every word got muddy edges from the nights I barely survived. Tatted knuckles on the wheel, wrist shining in the dash. Ash curling towards the ceiling like a time lapse of my crash. I'm not here to sing like angels, I'm just trying to sound like real. Half a growl, half a whisper, driving circles around what I feel. Gravel hard highway, riding slow and scarred. 420 in my lungs, life been hitting hard. Blues guitar floating, bass line low and wide. I don't need a polished voice to let this pain outside. If you hear me crack and shake on every line I say, that's just proof I've been surviving on this gravel hard highway. I remember cheap apartments turning smoke into a shield. Spitting verses in the kitchen just so something else would heal. Didn't know that every secret I refused to really share would come back as little splinters in the timber that I wear. Now promoters say they love it, say it cuts through all the gloss. Say it sound like old school bluesmen got lost in West Coast sauce. Like a preacher who's been doubting but still showing up to talk. Like a sinner making deals while he finish up this walk. So I leave the notes imperfect, let the vowels drag through sand. Let the consonants sound tired like they barely got to land. All that matters is it reaches every driver in the dark who been hiding just as heavy with a beat behind their heart. Go hard highway, riding slow and scarred. 420 in my lungs, life been hitting hard. Blues guitar floating, bass line low and wide. I don't need a polished voice to let this pain outside. If you hear me crack and shake on every line I say, that's just proof I've been surviving on this gravel hard highway. Maybe strength is not a filter, maybe grace is not a tune. Maybe courage message is a chorus sung off key beneath the moon, where your voice can sound exhausted, where your chest can sound undone, and the fact you're still there singing is the proof you haven't run. So I bless the broken register that trembles on the hook. Bless the way my tone is ragged like a doggy burn a book. If a phrase falls out of meter when I tell you I'm not fine, let it fall, there's more redemption in that stumble than in shine. By the time I hit the turnout where the city fades to dust, I've been pouring out these verses like receipts for all my thoughts. Still got gravel in my breathing, still got weight behind my jaw, but I'm lighter in the places where I usually stay in awe. If you're listening while you're driving with your own throat running thin, let this hook be one reminder you don't have to tuck it in. You can sound like rust and thunder and still lay a sacred track. Gravel hard on open highway, never once has turned you back.